Good morning to one and all who are present here and watching this video. I, Ankur Chaudhary, teacher of St. Mary's School, Haldaur, is present here to explain you about the process of respiration. Like all other organisms, plant too require energy for carrying out various body activities. So all living cells in a plant as well as those in animals require energy for various body activities. This energy is made available by the breakdown of glucose, a simple carbohydrate, by the process of respiration. My dear students, glucose is very necessary for the process of respiration. It has no alternative. Okay, glucose is must for the process of respiration. The food which we eat, it is either in the form of carbohydrate, proteins or fats, it will be converted into glucose molecule, then only it will be utilized by our body. Okay, whereas in plants it is already formed in the form of glucose by the green leaves through the process of photosynthesis. Respiration is a very important process for the survival of all living organisms, as this process creates energy by the breakdown of the glucose molecule in the form of ATP, which is used up by the cells of plant, and as a waste it also produces carbon dioxide, which is again used up by the plants to form a glucose molecule through a process of photosynthesis. The energy which is released in the form of ATP is used by the plant to reproduce new cells and to perform various activities like transportation of food and water and minerals. This energy is also used in the process of photosynthesis for the production of a glucose molecule. Inside our body as well as in plants, various metabolic process occurs. So metabolic process are of two types: catabolic process and anabolic. Catabolic is the one in which the breakdown of larger molecules take place like respiration, and anabolic process is the one in which synthesis of larger molecules takes place, as in photosynthesis. So respiration is a catabolic process in which a glucose molecule in the presence of oxygen is broken down into carbon dioxide, water and 38 ATP. Respiration occurs in two steps: glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Glycolysis is the first stage or phase of respiration, and this occurs inside the cytoplasm, and in this there is a breakdown of glucose molecule into two molecules of pyruvate. The second phase or stage of respiration is Krebs cycle, in which two molecules of pyruvate is completely broken down into carbon dioxide, water and ATP. Krebs cycle takes place inside the mitochondria present in the cytoplasm of the cell. Now we will see about what is the difference between respiration and combustion. Respiration occurs in a series of chemical steps, whereas combustion occurs in a single step. Respiration is carried out by enzymes, whereas combustion is carried out by heat. Respiration is a biochemical process, whereas combustion is a physiochemical process. Respiration liberates energy in the form of ATP, whereas combustion liberates energy as heat or light. In respiration, no light energy is produced, whereas in combustion, light energy is produced. Respiration is a cellular process, whereas combustion is a non-cellular process. Respiration occurs at body temperature, whereas combustion occurs at a very high temperature. So these are the basic differences between respiration and combustion. Each and every part of a plant respires, including leaves, stem and roots. Basically, oxygen is obtained from the atmosphere through three inlets, as stomata present on the upper and lower surface of leaf, second one lenticels present in the stem, and the third one general surface of the roots. As each and every part of the plant respire, so it produces a carbon dioxide as a waste product, which is during the daytime is used up by the green leaves to prepare the glucose through the process of photosynthesis. But during the night times, what happens? The stomata gets closed, so the photosynthesis stops, but the process of respiration continues at the night time also. So in the surrounding of the tree, the concentration of the carbon dioxide increases up to a very high level. So hence there appears to be some truth in the belief that one should not sleep under a tree at a night time. So my dear students, basically the respiration is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. If the respiration is occurring in the presence of oxygen, then it is aerobic respiration, and if it is occurring in the absence of oxygen, then it is anaerobic respiration. In aerobic respiration, one molecule of glucose in the presence of oxygen is broken down into carbon dioxide, water plus 38 ATP. Whereas in anaerobic respiration, one molecule of glucose is broken down into ethanol or ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide with the very less amount of release of energy, that is equal to 2 ATP. So my dear students, now you have understood that aerobic respirations releases more amount of energy as compared to the anaerobic respiration. My dear students, I want to tell you that inside our body also many times anaerobic respiration occurs when there is a deficiency of oxygen, when we do heavy exercise work or we start running, then there is a deficiency of oxygen. The oxygen doesn't reach up to the each and every cell. So in some cell there is an anaerobic respiration. The product which is produced during the anaerobic respiration inside our body is lactic acid in place of ethanol. When anaerobic respiration occurs in plants, it produces ethyl alcohol or ethanol, whereas when it occurs in animal cells or in our body, it produces lactic acid. Lactic acid is the reason for the pain which we feel after doing heavy workout or heavy exercise. Now we will see about what is the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration basically proceeds in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration proceeds without using oxygen. In aerobic respiration, there is a complete breakdown of glucose which produces a lot amount of energy, that is equal to 38 ATP, whereas in anaerobic respiration there is a incomplete breakdown of glucose which releases a very less amount of energy, that is equal to 2 ATP. In aerobic respiration, the end products are carbon dioxide and water, whereas in anaerobic respiration the end products are ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide, whereas in animal cells it is lactic acid. In aerobic respiration occurs normally throughout the life, whereas anaerobic respiration occurs temporarily for a short period of time. Now we will see what is the relationship between photosynthesis and respiration. Basically they are just opposite to one another. The products which are produced by the photosynthesis are used up by the respiration, and the products which are made up by the respiration are used up by the photosynthesis process. So my dear students, photosynthesis occurs only in those cells in which chlorophyll is present, whereas respiration occurs in all living cells. Photosynthesis occurs only in the presence of light, and respiration occurs at all times. Photosynthesis uses carbon dioxide and water to produce glucose molecule and oxygen, whereas in respiration it uses oxygen and glucose to produce carbon dioxide and water and energy. In photosynthesis, oxygen is released as an end product, whereas in respiration carbon dioxide is released as an end product. In photosynthesis, it results in gain in weight, whereas in respiration it results in weight loss because it is a catabolic process. In this, there is a breakdown of glucose molecule. In photosynthesis there are two steps: light reaction and light independent reaction or dark reaction. In a similar way, respiration also occurs in two steps, as we have studied earlier, as glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So my dear students, now I think you have understood about the process of respiration. What are the various chemical steps including glycolysis and Krebs cycle, and what is the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, between respiration and combustion, and what is the relationship between photosynthesis and respiration. Thanks to everyone for watching this video.